This is Matthew Rhodes, and I'm joined by Matlock Town player Ryan Qualter this evening. Ryan, how are you today?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, missing the football, like everyone else is, I suppose, at the moment. But looking forward to getting back at some point next week. I know it's difficult at the moment, but kind of the way we've started the season, you want the ball to keep rolling, really.
Yeah. It's Obviously, for anyone that's a little bit out of the loop, it's been a bit of a hectic time for Matlock in the sense that not much is happening, certainly on the pitch anyway. So it turned out there was a bit of a COVID outbreak, so that's why Matlock have got to be in a sort of hibernation period at the moment before they can return on Tuesday. So while he's sort of obviously not being able to go to any games or able to train at the moment with any of your teammates, how tough is it being sort of like to not be doing what you're normally doing again when there was such a long summer break in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously frustrating for the short period of time we've had off. I mean, I think all of us and the club are very kind of grateful that actually how many games we've got into the season, how many games we've been able to play without kind of having this hiccup along the road that we've come to at the moment. So we're kind of the mentality that we're still in a very good position. We're really pleased with how we've started the season. So break, yeah, it's not what we kind of wanted. It's not ideal, obviously, but it's only a short one, and we're confident we can carry on where we left off when we go into a game next Tuesday. I think if you're kind of at the other end of the table and you're losing games and you're not where you want to be, I think it's even more frustrating because you want to be out of those positions and you want to get points on the board. But we're very positive at the moment. Obviously, the camp's very positive. The lads are recovering for those lads who had it. And like I said, I think we should be all raring to go come next week.
Yeah, so you mentioned before the club's done quite well to fit in. I think it's already 6 league games and obviously a few cup games in between as well. What have you made to Matlock's start this season? So obviously it was a disappointing start in the league with the away defeat to Bamber Bridge. But since then, it's been really good, and fans are really getting invested into this squad. What have you made personally to the team start of the season, and what's the atmosphere like in the dressing room?
Yeah, we were obviously really disappointed with the first kind of league game, and it was one of those typical kind of opening league games where it's frantic for 20, 30 minutes and neither team really provided much quality. And then it was probably, for me, heading towards a 0-0 draw, and they've kind of got the rub of a green with a bit of a lucky goal. So we were really disappointed. Obviously, when you've had that long pre-season where all you're kind of gearing up for is that first league game, it is disappointing to start like that. But I think it just shows the characters we have in the squad, in the management, that we quickly turned that around and started putting points on the board. And we never doubted that we'd get the ball rolling soon after that defeat with some really impressive results. And I think at the moment we've got a very kind of strong camp with experienced lads in there that obviously we're going to have hiccups along the way. We're going to have defeats. We're going to have games that we win that we shouldn't have won. We're going to have games that we lose that we shouldn't have lost. But I think if you've got a camp like that with experience, I think it does help. And I think that just kind of proves that how well we've started and how well we've kind of gone on from that first disappointment in the league.
Yeah, there's been some interesting results already this season. If you have a look at the Northern Premier League Premier Division, I don't know if it's maybe because obviously these particular teams aren't able to get their normal crowd sizes in, but we see teams like South Shields and FC United Manchester have some shaky starts. Do you think that shows though just how competitive the NPL Premier Division is right now?
Yeah, I think when we're in the off season, we all knew that this league that we're in this year was going to be probably the toughest it's ever been. Obviously, some big clubs in the league, lads dropping down from tiers above, some good teams coming up. We always knew that this was going to be one very, very competitive league, and I think you can see that kind of by the results. I think, to be fair, I feel for teams like you said, South Shields, your FC United, that kind of they have those big crowds week in, week out. And like obviously playing South Shields last week, you can sense that even though there was only 300 there last week, that if there was what they normally get, it'd be a very intimidating place to go. So you've got to feel for them two clubs, especially from a financial point of view. We all want to see non-league clubs thriving, and for them to kind of not be allowed that amount of fans in, it's not ideal for them. But for us going away to those places, we've got to take advantage of that. We've got to kind of put that to the back of our minds and use it to our advantage. But like you say, I think with the results we've seen already, everyone's kind of beating everyone really, and there's been some really kind of strange results that you wouldn't expect. I think it just shows how competitive the league is.
Yeah, and how have you rated your own performances so far this season? You must be really pleased that you've already won quite a lot of praise from a lot of the fan base already. What do you think to your own personal season so far?
Yeah, it's always nice to go to a club and kind of get the fans on your side early doors. But I think from a collective point of view, as a back three or back five, whatever you want to call it, it's been an outstanding effort so far. We haven't conceded too many goals. We've looked quite solid in the majority of the games. And to be fair, a lot of credit's got to go to Sean, the keeper who's come in at the start of the season. Obviously, trying to kind of fill Big John's boots is very difficult, but Sean's come in and he's performed outstandingly. And I think it just kind of breeds confidence that the run we're on at the moment, especially as a back five, if you feel solid, you feel confident in each other, you're more likely to keep those clean sheets. And I think last Tuesday was kind of one of those ones where it was never going to be a pretty game against Grantham, but as a five, as a goalkeeper, and also to fair the rest of the team, we defended really well. And they're kind of the results that you enjoy the most being a centre half, those 1-0 aways where you're keeping clean sheets. But yeah, it's been, the club have welcomed me with open arms since signing, and it was brilliant to get a good pre-season under my belt, meet all the lads, and have a lot of time to prepare for the season ahead with the lads. So I'm pleased at the moment, but I know and we know that we're only kind of a few games in. We've got to keep it going.
And it's early days, of course. Obviously, in terms of the league, I think the most any team has played, I think, is 8 games so far. So still early days. But with how you've started so far, obviously with how strong the defence is in particular, and with how well Sean Rowley is playing in goal, and having another keeper like John Stewart on the books, do you still think like a top 5 place would be, a realistic target to aim for?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you asked us before the season, we kind of highlighted maybe South Shields, your Buxton as the 2 outstanding teams in the league, that, and maybe Basefords as well, that we're going to kind of be for that number 1 spot. But we just want to go quietly about our business. I know it's kind of harder to do that as you get on a good run, but we fully believe that we should be competing for those playoff spots, if not a little bit more this year, and that's our aim. There's no point in us sitting here going, we're happy with a top 10, top 12. That's not all what we want. We've got players at the club that want to kind of be up in the division above playing the football next season. So it's definitely a target for us. I know, like we say, it's early doors, but I think from the way we've set our stall out by beating some good clubs so far, I think if we continue, we shouldn't be far off. And we're fully confident we can do that.
Cool, that's absolutely awesome, Ryan. Thanks for your input tonight, and good luck for the game against Colville coming up on Tuesday night.
No problem. Thank you very much for your time.